Share Shootout brought to you by Lion of Africa Insurance, insuring South Africa's future.
Welcome to the only league where the players wear blazers. You're watching CNBC Africa. This is the most vicious stock picking show on television, the Share Shootout League. I'm Bruce Whitfield. Now, did Pointing's results point to the right direction for you? I wonder, do African governments actually know of something called the Mo Ibrahim Index on African Governance? It would appear not. And are Capitec's results a reflection of the bulging unsecured loan book full of former African bank clients? So we offer absolutely no answers to these annoying questions. All we do know is that the Share Shootout League has reached the halfway line. And as any fund manager knows, the numbers don't lie. Let's take a look at the video. We'll just check out how Twitter has gauged the game. Have a look at the running order there. Just check out how Twitter streets decided the battle of the wily old foxes between the Scot and Maverick. As you can see there, no one is above pleading, asking and begging for votes. The Scot, or Africa's William Wallace, came through the goods this time. He also gets himself 3 points and moves him to 4th spot on the log. For the Lone Ranger of the show, Maverick, he still has to win 3 of his remaining games if he wants to stand a chance of making the cut of the final 4 players to make it into the semi-final spots. Now, do remember that whoever you vote for will make it to the final list of 4, so you need to vote. You decide on the results of the league match, and ultimately you decide on the winner of the Share Shootout League. All you have to do is follow at SSO League and tweet any of the stock pickers hashtags. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now back to tonight's match. Our first stock picker came back from a family holiday in the United States of America. He trains for this show by running with his 11-year-old husky dog. It's about all he can keep up with nowadays. Our second stock picker is an American who plays and coaches his 2 sons' baseball teams, the Mustangs Club in Marks Park. You can catch him there on the weekend and get his autograph. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the players.
Stand by for action.
My name is Alexander Naryshkine, but Sasha is short for Alexander. Call me Sasha, please. Everything from answering the phones. Goldfield? Yes, I've heard of that company. To attending to client email. To, make payments, everything. We like to answer our own phones because when someone phones, strangely, they want to speak to us. Ignore lots of the noise in the short term, buy the quality and stick with it for as long as possible. Get inside Bruce's head just to try and confuse him as much as possible. Yeah, and act like Carl Icahn. Outrageous, like this board is pathetic. I've never seen such a useless board, when of course it's someone else's pick. Yeah, that's how I think I'm gonna win. Yeah, but you mustn't tell my competitors. Warren Buffett. No, I'm kidding. Has to be Bruce Whitfield. He's way too clever for everybody on this show, so if I can beat him, I'll be happy. I just need to beat Bruce, then I think I'll win this league, yeah.
It's Matthew Warren, and I'm head of financials and retailers here at First Avenue and a partner as well. So what we do is we do intrinsic value investing, and so we seek out high quality companies at a discount to fair value. And that's really, it's that combination that we're always looking for the best combination possible to put that into the portfolio. I think, if anything, just keep it simple. So get to the main points, get to them quickly so that people can understand where I'm coming from and think on my feet from there. Oh, I don't know, I'm new to this, so I guess I must just bring my A game and see what happens. I'll give it my best shot, certainly. Stock pitch is always a good way to get your thoughts out quickly and efficiently. We have to do that in the shop here, so why not do it for the benefit of the viewers.
Sasha Naryshkine, who goes by the hashtag Bucks from Vestact, and Matthew Warren, who goes by hashtag Shy-Town from First Avenue Investment Management, on opposite ends of the log. Matthew won 3 points. They were hard fought for and a very noble 3 points. Sasha aiming at the guys at the top of the leaderboard. He did start the game as the scariest guy. Maybe he's just a slow finisher. First, the house rules. Now, both of these oaks have pre-picked 3 shares. Only I know what they hold. Each must accept at least one of the competitor stocks, and each has got 30 seconds to argue their stock pick with a little bit of flexibility if they're interesting. They can pick from the JSE. We also give them an offshore allowance and also to broaden the spectrum of what they can do with 1 international stock per round as well. So don't be shy to give us your tweets this evening. Do let us know who is your favorite tonight. Matthew Warren, I'm going to make you go first simply because I can't believe your first stock pick. You're going long, is that correct? Yes, it is long. You're going in the banking sector. You're looking at the 134 billion rand market cap, formerly known as ABSA, Barclays Africa. In 30 seconds, tell me why.
So Barclays is one of the most well-balanced franchises out there, including into Africa now that they've bought from the parent company. I think what they have is they have one of the biggest retail books in the business. They've lost some clients recently, but they've corrected a lot of those errors. They got their marketing campaign back on track, and they're gaining traction with high-income customers, which is where the lifetime customer value is. They've been de-risking the book for 2 to 3 years now, extremely cautious lending. The cycle's turning. Now's the time to own Barclays and have it pay off for you.
There we go, and with time to spare as well.
Brilliant, eh?
He's very good, isn't he?
Very, very
Is he good enough, though, to entice you into the banking sector, which you've avoided like the plague, except for African Bank, for much of the last 5 years?
10.
10.
Yeah, I mean, banking's prone to blow-ups from time to time. I think what's interesting about, and some people perceived it as a negative when Barclays took the rest of Africa, the businesses they could, and inserted it into, the best capital and most liquid capital market in Africa. I think that was a stroke of genius. Everyone else went, what do they think they're doing? I thought that was brilliant. But where's the sexiness going to come in a rate environment which is clearly heading higher? So
we saw as Jill Marcus recently left rates unchanged, there was this sigh of collective relief and bank shares went up. And then suddenly the market went, hold on a second, she didn't say they're never going to go up again. And suddenly the reality sunk in and we've seen share prices come off.
Because she might be on holiday.
And she'll be on holiday, she'll be on retirement.
She's 65,
yes.
Although one never tells a woman's age except for Wikipedia. Yeah.
You see, no commenting.
No
Zip.
comment.
Scary.
Exactly.
Scary.
So I think in the interests of where's the next kind of leg up, they've all re-rated a lot of the banks and financials.
We've seen Barclays Africa go from about $130 all the way to 170. It's there and thereabouts at the moment. You wouldn't be touching it with a barge pole.
No, not that I wouldn't be touching. I'm more interested in his other stock picks, so I'll take a pass on this one.
You'll take a pass. So he's not shooting you down, he's taking a pass, which is a gentle way of saying
same thing, yeah.
You've been shot down, Matthew Warren. On Barclays Africa, let's go to your first pick then, Sasha Naryshkine from Vestact. Talk about companies that have run hard and run consistently and possibly have got the easy money done and dusted already. Why are you doing one like that as well? In 30 seconds, Bidvest, $300 a share.
Well, there's a potential value unlock here with the international businesses that's practically 50% of their revenue. So why would they do that? Why would they have a listing in London? Well, it's to be able to raise cheaper money. So anyone who says Brian Joffe's going at any time soon, ought to have their head read, because Warren Buffett's 20 years older and he's still sticking around. So I think he's going to stick around for a long time, refocus, recalibrate, strengthen the South African business, focus on a soccer team too. But, grow that international food services business.
As far as I know, he doesn't have anything to do with the management of running Sunderland.
But he goes along. Sunderland. No, we're talking about Bidvest Wits.
Bidvest Wits, but they also sponsor Sunderland.
Yes, exactly. Lovely shirt. Beautiful colours.
Very nice. Okay, but we don't want you to be getting too excited and going over your 30 seconds. Bidvest, does it excite you at all, Matthew Warren?
No, it does. I think Brian...
Hold on. It does. It's on a PE ratio of 17 times last year's profit.
Less than 15.
That is way outside your traditional hunting ground, isn't it?
No, I think he's one of the best capital allocators in the country, and if you look even broader than that. So he's done a great job buying companies that have competitive advantage, bringing them into the house. A lot of them have synergies between the two, so cost sharing, skimming the costs off of an existing business. The food business is a great business. It's relatively less cyclical than many other businesses. It's a scale business that they have in many geographies, and there's room to grow that into further countries. It's a great business. We like Bidvest.
What is the opportunity? Because they said they're exploring the opportunity to list in London. Now, Brian Joffe doesn't say anything until he means it. I suspect that this is a done deal. I mean, it has to be a done deal for Bidvest, Sasha.
Yeah, and I think maybe in his later 60s and early 70s, maybe it'll be a better place for him to live than with a beautiful view over Sandton, which he currently enjoys. I'm being a little bit facetious, but it looks like he hasn't lost the energy, which is important. And he is one of the greatest capital allocators in the Southern Hemisphere.
We talk about his great ability to allocate capital. Even he had to admit, however, that Adcock Ingram was not the best capital allocation.
It's I can count it on these 3 fingers what it is as a percentage of Bidvest.
There's a little poker being played there too. I mean, he doesn't want that price to go any higher before he buys more of it.
Absolutely,
let's
exactly.
say. Yeah.
Okay, so
he's a street fighter.
He's boxing cleverly, you see. Okay. So we like him. We like Brian Joffe. We like what he's done. We like what he's achieved with Bidvest in South Africa. Whenever you think that he can't possibly buy any more, he seems to find new acquisitions in South Africa as well. But the real opportunity is what lies in the United States. Now, you know that market better than we do. Sasha's recently visited it, of course, but he doesn't eat out in many restaurants because his body is his temple and all of that sort of stuff. But give me a sense of the food services market in the United States. Has Bidvest got an opportunity?
It's tough there. I mean, you've got Cisco, Cisco, not the tech company, but they have a very large business there in the States. So it'd be tougher. They might have to buy the number 2 player and try to work it into something larger. But, you know, I heard him talking recently, and I think he's interested in Germany and France. So I think there's going to be some expansion in Europe where there's room to go, and there's probably better cost sharing as he further penetrates Europe with the food service business.
Europe is a done deal, I think, but the United States is an opportunity that swallowed an insurance company you won't remember called Sage. It ate up a big portion of Old Mutual's value, and it also knocked Discovery for 6.
Went back.
Absolutely.
I think opportunities also lie in the East. You know, having cemented a place in Australasia, you know, moving further into China, where it's very fragmented. I think they'll do well there.
Okay, so Bidvest is your pick. You're taking it, even though it trades on a very high multiple. This time, you're backing the jockey on this particular horse.
I think the valuation's justified, and I do like the stewardship of the company.
There we go.
Backing the Joffe.
There we go. Backing the Joffe on this one. There we go. Very good, Sasha.
Thanks,
you should go on television at some point.
I'll try.
Matthew Warren from First Avenue Investment Management. This is a long-time favorite of many people. It's quiet. It's under the radar. It doesn't seem to do very much. It used to have big warehouses full of paper files, always at risk of burning down. They've gone more electronic in recent times, of course. You're still a fan of Metrofile. In 30 seconds, tell me why.
Yeah, so Metrofile it's a great business. It's more boxes come in every year. They store them. They put in incremental capital in terms of the storage shelves at the last minute to get there. They have a nationwide footprint. So if it's a nationwide business, rather deal with them than one of the smaller guys that's only in Joburg. What you get is steadiness. I think there's good stewardship in the company. It's also a cleanup story. So they have had to clean up a balance sheet from previous deals, de-levered the company, and there's a lot of cash flow coming out of the business now, which the investor gets to enjoy.
Okay, Metrofile. There's a lot to like about it, Sasha, except it operates in the old world of paper.
No. I mean, ironically, there's more and more paper being generated as there are many more of us.
And in the paperless
barriers
world,
to entry, you know, so when is it that governments will decide that electronic copies are just as good as paper copies? You know, we've got entire industries that are still built on paper. Hospitals is a great example where you have to fill in 17 bits of paper with exactly the same information.
You're bleeding all over the floor and you're having to
as long
write
as your spouse
longhand.
person's filling it in for you,
Yeah.
and they're attending to you. But I think Matthew's right. I mean, from time to time, though, these businesses encounter really tough times. I mean, I don't know what his third pick is, but I think I'm going to go with this one.
You like Metrofile enough?
Well, I like it without knowing his last one. So for the rules of this game, I think you may regret one of them. Well, maybe. Maybe he'll like my other two. You never know.
No, chances are slim, frankly.
No,
I've got them in front of me. Okay, so Matthew Warren, Metrofile in this space, is it not a space which is vulnerable to tech, however, to tech taking over, or are they making inroads there?
Well, they have it. They have digital storage, they have business continuity services, they have mobile shredding, so they've got the whole gamut. But the fact of the matter is that boxes are more profitable. It's actually the better business, so they have a little bit of a hedge in place, but those boxes keep coming in every year. The banks go digital and they keep sending boxes. It's funny how that works.
Absolutely. So Metrofile gets the Sasha Naryshkine thumbs up this evening. Let's go on to your next pick, Sasha. This is an interesting one because hospital businesses are notoriously under pressure from regulators. Hospital businesses in South Africa are certainly under a lot of pressure, and that sent Netcare off to the United Kingdom, where they became owners of lots of properties, and it's drained the business for a long time. Another business which has gone international and a lot more successfully perhaps has been Mediclinic into Switzerland, and they're doing rather well. In 30 seconds, tell me why you like the hospital pass.
Well, interestingly, Switzerland have got, on a per capita basis, the biggest out-of-pocket spend. So that's kind of post what medical insurance covers. It's roughly $2,500 per person. So there are lots of rich old people there, and even though they've only got 16 relative to the 49 hospitals that they've got here, they're a lot more profitable in the developed world, but equally growing at the same sort of rate. So it's all very nice to say, okay, well, there's going to be more regulation, but the fact of the matter is, Can I have
I'm interested in the fact.
The fact of the
Just
matter
one fact
is
would be nice.
they're as profitable there as they are here.
Okay, there's a lot to like about Mediclinic. I don't know if you've got preferences for hospitals. If you're feeling a little peaky, do you check yourself into a Netcare or a Mediclinic?
Works.
You go wherever the doctor is, ultimately. But Mediclinic, great business.
Yeah, it is. Again, less cyclical than a lot of other businesses. It's well run. You're in a bit of an oligopoly here in South Africa where the pricing is pretty rational. I think we all know that. And then in Switzerland, you've gone into an even less risk, lower cost of capital geography and built a good business there as well. The valuation implied on the Swiss business is a bit high. So I'm not sure that it's dirt cheap right now, but I do like the business.
You like the business. Well, we'll pause on whether you like it or enough to pick two of Sasha's shares this evening. And you're allowed to pick two. You're allowed to pick two because you might like his third as well. Why Mediclinic over Netcare? And over Life Healthcare, frankly.
Geography. So I think, the fact that Switzerland is one of the richest countries in the world. So as people are getting older, it's a fact that in your last few years of your life, you spent more on medical expenses than at any other point in your life. So if you're looking for some of the richest people in the world who would take their health seriously. I'm not saying, rich people tend to take their health a lot more seriously, but that's because they've got the resources.
They can afford to take their health more seriously. So the Swiss thing, but Netcare has got the UK market, which is underpinned by two factors. One is the National Health Service, which is putting more and more people through the private system as the NHS struggles to cope. The other, of course, is private health insurance, which has been capitalised on by Discovery in a joint venture with the biggest insurance company in the UK called Pru Health. There's support there, natural hedge for Netcare in that market.
I think what Mediclinic also have is a 43% shareholding from Remgro. You're forced each and every year to allocate capital to some of their core businesses that they hold inside of their portfolio. And I think Mediclinic could be the benefactor of that too. So hence the multiple slightly higher because of the Swiss business.
Time to talk Turkey. Do we accept Mediclinic? I think you have to.
No, I'm going to stick with Bidvest. I'll pass on this one.
You're sticking with Bidvest, but you've confessed and admitted to liking Mediclinic.
No,
you're allowed to choose two.
We do like it. I just don't know if you want to enter just here. That's all.
You don't want. Okay. At what point would you enter? Where is Mediclinic trading with?
92, 93.
Where would you enter Mediclinic?
My colleague would be putting the valuation on that one, so I don't know the exact number she's on, but. I would say it's fairly valued,
80?
actually. So you just need a slight gap, really.
Okay. I mean, how much are you prepared to pay? What's the base price you should be paying?
Well, the balance of the market says today's price is what it is. You either own the company.
So is Matthew going to be able to pick it up below $90 in the next month?
If we all knew the answer to this, we wouldn't be on
come on,
the
just
TV.
answer that question.
No, I don't think he will.
There we go. That's more of a sport. You see, that's the way to play this game. Matthew Warren, you're shooting it down because it's £2 a share too expensive. I like your chutzpah on that one. Likes the business, but just a little bit too rich for his blood at current levels. Okay, so there we go with Matthew Warren from First Avenue Investment Management. Two picks this evening. Barclays Africa Group, which Sasha Naryshkine, you accepted. You accepted.
No, I didn't.
Hey?
I passed.
You passed. There we go.
And that's a bridge term.
Yeah.
I would have thought you, with your English accent, would have understood what a pass is.
We pass, but it means something different in different cultures. Okay, so Barclays Africa, you shot down. You accepted Metrofile. That was the one you liked. You preferred Metrofile to Barclays Africa. Matthew Warren has still got one absolute corker, which you're going to find practically impossible to shoot down. I'm looking forward to seeing how you do it. And then Sasha Naryshkine.
I could like it, Bruce.
Bidvest and Mediclinic, two companies that Matthew Warren really likes. He likes Bidvest more than he likes Mediclinic. He accepted Bidvest. He reluctantly shot down Mediclinic. I know he wants to accept it, really. Don't be shy to give us your halftime results. Who's leading who is winning at this particular stage of the game? Follow at SSO League. Add your voice into the mix. Vote for either hashtag Shytown or hashtag Bucks. Use the power of Welcome back to CNBC Africa. This is Share Shootout League, the only league without dugouts, but sometimes our competitors dig themselves into a hole. Remember, this is match day number 23, and through your Twitter votes, one of our stock pickers will change the look of this league. The way it works, you follow at SSO League. You vote for either hashtag Bucks, that's Sasha, or hashtag Shytown, and that, of course, is Matthew Warren. Matthew Warren this evening has chosen Barclays Africa and Metrofile. Sasha accepted Metrofile, shot down Barclays Africa. Sasha's picks are Bidvest and Mediclinic, and Matthew accepted Bidvest, shot down Mediclinic. I'm interested to see whether or not he can shoot down your stock pick number 3. Tom Hanks in the movie About an Airport. What was the
It was
movie
about
called?
an airplane.
No, it was an airport.
An airport.
Yes, and he's stuck between. He's stuck in the no-go zone, and he's shopping, and he doesn't have a country. And my best line ever: "Where do you get the Nike shoes? You do it better than me."
Where do you get your Nike shoes?
There we go. Tell me why you like the Nike shoes in 30 seconds, in Russian accent.
In the Russian accent. Okay, well, Nike is an aspirational brand. So what that means is soft luxury. So 30 odd years ago, it was acceptable to wear a surf t-shirt. Nowadays, you can just wear your favorite football team. I mean, this is a business that has grown internationally after some, sweatshop and other problems. It's just a fabulous brand and one of the most valuable brands. So I think as people get richer through the middle classes, there'll be more and more top-line growth.
Okay, you're a jogger. Sorry, runner. You don't like.
I can be called whatever you want me
You
to.
joggers don't like being called runners.
I wish I could run or jog. What you call meandering.
There we go. Do you wear the Nike shoes when you do jogging, running?
For sure.
You do. So you live the brand, do you?
And the socks all the way up. Yeah.
Oh, do they make? Oh no, I don't want
It's
to
so
know.
early in the morning, no one sees you. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we wear barter tackies. Nike, American invention, fabulous brand, global brand, had some issues, but at the top end of athletics and the top end of fashion, which has been the genius of Nike, they're hard to shoot down there as well, Matthew. He's been quite mean to you today.
No, it's a great company. It's an aspirational brand, like you mentioned, but it's in categories where people identify their personality with the brand. I mean, these are strong psychological connections that Nike's formed with their customer base over the years. They do it by putting their name on the best athletes on the planet that people aspire to be like.
Tiger Woods,
Michael Jordan.
Yes,
Well,
others.
don't mention Ray Rice.
Sometimes they take the brand away.
Yeah, so it doesn't always work out. No. NFL's going through a lot of problems these days. Betting on athletes doesn't always work with off-the-field hijinks and worse. But really, I mean, Nike is at the top. So they have competitors out of Germany, especially. But they stand at the top of that. They've got quite a lead. They have economy of scale. They can plow that money back into branding. It's tough to beat that cycle.
Okay, tough to beat the
Big
cycle.
share
I think he's going to
buybacks
accept it.
too.
What do you think?
Massive share buybacks, I think if they stick to the current capital allocation plan, they're going to buy back around 11% of the company at current prices
And
over the next
that
3 years.
just increases earnings for the remaining
Makes
shareholders.
Phil Knight even richer. He owns what? I think still 15.8% of this business. So he looks fit for an old man.
Well, that's because he wears Nike shoes. You're accepting it.
Yeah, I have to.
You have to accept it. He's taken 2 of your picks. Let's see
Well,
whether
you
or
said
not
I
you will be
can't-
enough of a gentleman.
yeah, good.
Enough of a gentleman. So
course I
he's
will.
accepted your Bidvest pick and he's accepted your Nike shoes pick. I've got a feeling that you are going to accept Matthew Warren's last pick because Matthew, this is global. You cannot get a pair of the Nike shoes or get some Bidvest food or get into a Mediclinic hospital or store your files at Metrofile or bank with Barclays unless you're prepared to carry Visa. In 30 seconds. Tell me why you like it.
So Visa benefits from the network effect, which is really the strongest kind of competitive advantage, in our opinion, at First Avenue. The more users they get on either side, the more valuable the network is. And there's also high entry barriers. So you put a lot of money into the systems of technology, but then the incremental capital to keep it going is very light. So the incremental profitability of each swipe of growing global spending, it really hits the bottom line. It's a phenomenal company. The profit margins are above 60%. The return on capital is enormous. They're not going to go anywhere.
There we go. You got to like it.
It's one of my absolute favorite businesses. I mean, for governments to root out any form of tax evasion or, criminality associated with cash, this is the businesses that they should rather be putting more scrutiny on, they should be accepting more and more, because many more transactions around the world, and I'm not talking in money terms, I'm talking in number of transactions, still happen and they're cash based. There's a 500 euro note. So apparently in Europe, a lot of the mafioso, they can carry around €1 million and it only weighs 2.2 kilograms. You would have thought you would have been able to stack, it would weigh slightly
Absolutely.
more than that.
I mean, I would love to see you going into a retailer with a 500 euro note and see whether or not they would accept it, because in the UK you go with a
Apparently you
£50 note.
can't find one because all the mafioso, they're hoarding them.
They're carrying them around in 2.2 kilogram packs.
Yes,
There
a
we
million
go.
at a time.
So, Visa, back to the point. Lovely story, by the way, but back to the point. Will you accept?
Well, you know, I've just given it a ringing endorsement, and at $215 odd, I think it's still really cheap, even though it looks expensive.
It's on a multiple of 30 times. And that's
one of the best profit margins out of any business.
But then explain then, because at a 60% profit margin, you're prepared to pay 30 times earnings.
Because I think that they're going to start growing quicker, because there are many more swipes that can take place across their networks globally. And forget about all the other payment systems that are going to come your way, because I think Visa and MasterCard
doesn't Apple change the game with payment systems?
Did you not see on the Apple phone, there was Visa on the phone?
Somebody's got to facilitate the transactions.
Exactly.
Yeah, Apple actually negotiates with the issuing banks. Visa gets the same take on those transactions.
Extraordinary. Wonderful thing, monopolies, if you're invested in them. So you accept?
100%.
There we go. 2 shares each is what have been accepted this evening. It's not unprecedented, but it's nice to see it happen. Good debates happening between Matthew Warren and Sasha Naryshkine. Matthew Warren's picks this evening: Barclays Africa, Metrofile and Visa. Metrofile and Visa both accepted. Sasha's picks of Bidvest, Mediclinic and Nike. Matthew likes Bidvest and he likes Nike. Mediclinic is a little bit too rich for his blood. Sunday midnight, that's the cut-off time for your votes. Let's see which side of the pendulum you're swinging towards. You take to Twitter, you search for @SSO League, you follow it, and then you vote for whichever one of these two nice gentlemen, one in a tie and one in an oddly coloured shirt, impressed you most, and for whatever reason. We're back right here on CNBC Africa next Tuesday, 8:30 for match day number 24 of the most merciless stock picking show on TV, where hopefully next time our guests tear limbs off each other. Till next time, stay cunning. Good night.